Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Who is up for a special edition, a special Ingham sesh, if you will? We have so much to get through, so let's get straight into it.
Chris and the girls went down to the pool about an hour ago so that I could get myself ready, get showered and film this Q&A, which is, I just feel so sorry for Chris editing that. It's just the longest Q&A I think I've ever done.
I genuinely confused me, Sarah. I mean, the amount of editing required in a Q&A where you are literally just sat staring at the camera is minimal, the editing, right? So it's just basically cut, chop, and paste and everything, right? So you couldn't even do that. You had to get Chris, the master editor, to help you out on this one. What the hell else are you doing of an evening or a day? Mind-blowing to me.
Probably going to have to cut out half the things, half my questions. I'm actually a bit nervous for it going up. Not that I should be. I didn't say anything bad. You know, when you talk about things like breastfeeding and parenting styles and co-sleeping and homeschooling and things like that, sometimes gets people's backs up. So no doubt there's going to be argument in the comments. I hope not. I did ask for people to just keep it nice. Say your opinions as much as you want, but let's not be nasty to other parents that might not parent the same way we do.
100% she was talking about herself there. Absolutely. Please be respectful to other parents who don't agree with the way that you parent, but the way she's looking down, it's like she knows she's talking about herself, and that's fine, but don't pass it off as this amazing selfless thing where you're trying to protect all your other adult fam who seem to be all having babies as well.
We decided to homeschool about 3 years ago, is it now? 3 or 4 years ago? 3 years ago. And it was just the best decision I ever made. And I still have times when I wobble, and I didn't want to homeschool. I was 100% against it. Chris and the girls begged for so long, and I was like, no. But I'm so glad that I changed my mind.
But if you wobbled and you weren't too sure in the first place and you had your reservations and you needed some convincing, why is it then that you are so much against schooling now? So much, because you think that school is this horrible place, and yet in the first place you weren't convincing that. So what changed your mind to being from one extreme to the other? I mean, it feels almost as if you had a lot of pressure from Chris, and I don't say that too often because I don't believe in this whole, Sarah's this meek little woman who is just crushed down by Chris. No, I don't think that. But, however, you do seem to have changed your mind quite drastically from one extreme to the other.
It's the best decision I've ever made. I know school is a godsend to so many people. Personally, I don't agree with many aspects of the school system. I'm not trying to turn this into a debate.
Well, let's debate it then, Sarah. I mean, let's not turn it into a debate, but let's just talk about it, because you keep saying things like, oh, there's many aspects of the school system which I don't agree with, but you've never actually said what parts of the school system you don't agree with. I mean, I kind of get it. You kind of don't agree with the whole SATs, the exams for 11-year-olds and things like that. You don't like that, right? I get that. Not many people do. But what else?
At all. But I just personally don't agree with a lot of aspects in the traditional schooling system. And I'm glad that my children are out of it, but I honestly just feel so lucky, so lucky. And I know that we get a lot of criticism about homeschooling, and a lot of people thinking that we don't educate our children, or they're not receiving an education, or they're going to be damaged adults. And those comments are a little bit frustrating sometimes, but I know the education that my children receive.
Okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate here a little bit, because I'm thinking, okay, do they actually do schoolwork? Maybe. But what Sarah's saying here is quite interesting. She's saying that she knows what schoolwork her kids are doing and she is satisfied with it. However, does anybody actually know what kind of school schooling that Sarah herself went through and succeeded, or in the other case not succeeded at? Is it possible, Sarah, that you are kind of comparing your schooling to how your kids are getting educated and thinking, yeah, it's about right, my schooling, you know, I got a D, E, F, G and things like that, and my kids, yeah, they're getting around about that, so possibly, yeah, that could be, that's how you're supposed to educate kids. Is that what you're actually doing? Because I feel like that could be something.
I know what they do on a daily basis. I know how much they are thriving. I know how confident they are. I know how much more self-respect they have. I know how they're growing up at their own pace rather than at their peers' pace.
Do you mean maturity-wise, psychologically, or do you mean educationally? Because I get that you might want to, you know, you shouldn't learn at somebody else's pace. You shouldn't grow up at somebody else's pace. You should be at your own pace. I understand that and I agree with it. But if you're saying, oh, well, my kids are learning at their own pace, but, you know, Isla, she's on a year 7, but she's actually she is year 7. Sorry. It's a bad example. You know what I mean? She's age 7 and she's actually 11 years old. Do you see what I'm saying? She shouldn't be educationally inferior to her peers just because you want her to learn at a different rate, if that makes any sense.
Or the pressure that they feel like they need to grow up at. I know that they're not controlled or bullied or put down or all of those other things.
Sarah, right, this actually infuriates me a lot, like a serious amount. What you're saying is your kids are not bullied. I could have told you that. They're not bullied anymore. They're not put down. They don't feel inferior, etc, etc, etc. But do you actually know the person who brought that on them? These are things that actually happened to them. I'm certain of it. But do you know the only person that actually brought it on to them is you? You, Sarah, you did it to them. You did it to them. They went, what happened, right? I'll tell you guys a little story. What happened back in the day, the kids went to school and they were YouTube superstars, right? Chris and Sarah made them into that. The iFam loved them. They would go into school every day and they'd be like, oh yeah, I'm famous, blah, blah. And then there was a time where Chris would fuck it up for them because, you know, he couldn't keep his DMs to himself. And then you would make these kids do absolute idiotic, stupid, insane, reveal everything about their fucking lives. Sorry, everybody, don't like to swear, but you would make them reveal everything, or the most embarrassing things about their lives, and then they'd go into the school the next day and get the piss ripped right out of them. And they come home and they get sent home because they were being bullied, and Isabel will be in tears again, and you'd be like, oh my god, the school system sucks. Oh my god, the school, how could I send them to school and then not being looked after? That was all you did it, nobody else. So stop with all this, oh, the school system is so bad, but you know, we wouldn't change what we were doing because, you know, we have every right to film the fuck out of our kids. But you know, you, Sarah,
I know how happy my children are at home, and I know how much they're thriving, and that's literally all that matters to me. It just really does make me feel so lucky that we are in a position to be able to homeschool our children and give them the best. Some of you will disagree with this, that's fine, but give them the best childhood possible. And I know, and I have no worries about the fact that I know they are having the best childhood possible.
Well, I would happily disagree, obviously, but the kids do seem to be having fun. But there's more to life than fun. There's lots of things more to life than fun. Anyway, that was Sarah's amazing super duper Q&A, which she uploaded the other day, and the only bit worth watching was the end bit, as I've taken there, because the rest of it, 45 minutes, Sarah, of absolute nonsense for your teeny weeny iFam to get their teeth into about pregnancy and stuff. Yeah, it was phenomenal. Anyway, there's more to come, so don't go away, guys.
Alright, buzzing. Managed to get sun cream. Plenty of sun cream in there, actually. It was just with the towels and the beach stuff. I'm not a big drinker at all, but I did have a Sagres the other day in Sagres, and it was the nicest experience I've ever had. And I could not believe when I saw this. A 1 litre of Sagres. 1 litre of Sagres. Just guess how much. See, I would have had to guess how much, especially on a campsite shop. I'd have said more like something like maybe £5 or £6. €1.50. €1.50. That's insane.
Chris Ingham, the non-drinker, buying a 3 litre bottle of beer. Kind of reminds me of those, the White Lightning things, the cider that you used to get when you're like 15, 16 years old, and it used to cost like £1 for 3 litres. Yeah, something like that. That's the non-drinker. He's going to go around the bike shed soon with that.
Because we go on the bikes and the scooters.
But why is this important though?
It is important because
We're recreating a memory.
Yeah.
We're recreating a memory. So this is we haven't. Have we decided where we're going? We had 2 options of places that we wanted to recreate tonight. I'm not sure if we've decided yet. I personally want to go to the Chinese.
I think we're recreating that one.
Are we?
No, we are, yeah.
Okay, so last time we were here, we went to this amazing Chinese. It had like one of those little like turny tables, didn't it?
Yeah,
And the tables spin around. It's so cool.
Isn't it just a little bit weird how they're so excited and so invested in this whole recreation thing? Isabel there. Oh, are we creating a memory? Are we recreating a memory? Yeah. Like what? Like that's their sole goal, is to think, right, what did we do? What did we do when we were last here? Yeah, we can recreate this memory then, and then we can recreate that memory tomorrow. And yeah, it just seems a little bit weird to me, if I'm being honest. I mean, recreate memories by accident, for sure, do that. You go to a place you've been to before and, you're reminiscing, and that's fine. But just make your own way and do your own thing. And the memories, recreations or not, will come. You don't have to do an exact replica of a memory that you once had 3 years ago.
Anyway, that Chinese was just as good as I remembered from 3 years ago. So good. Oh my goodness. Anyway, it's very nice to be back at the van right now. And we're just going to wind down for bed, basically. Bucket list number 1 ticked off. Very happy about that. And it's just really cool. I don't know if you guys are like feeling all the feels with us as well.
I don't know, guys. Are you feeling all the feels from 3 years ago? I mean, I personally never lived the experience, so I can't feel how they felt back then 3 years ago because I didn't have that experience. And anybody else that watched it then won't have the same feels as you do, Chris, because it wasn't their lived experience. It was your lived experience. I don't know.
But if you were with us back then in 2020, you will know how much of a big deal it was and just how much of a crazy chapter in our lives that was. So being able to do all this and relive all of it is just really cool. Absolutely loving it right now.
Really cool. Absolutely loving it right now. Recreating memories from 3 years ago. No, Chris, it wasn't cool. I would have to say that, people died. Lots of people died. In fact, millions of people around the world died 3 years ago. The only memory that I have of that time, 2020, is the fact that people died. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of you who are watching right now will also have had relatives who passed away at that time. And I'm not saying it as flippantly as it sounds, what I'm trying to get across is that these idiots travelled around the world in a pandemic without any thought in the world except for themselves. They experienced none of what was actually happening. None. Or the worst thing that they had to do back then was put a mask on. The worst thing. They didn't have to worry about anything or anybody. Even their own family they didn't seem to give a fuck about, right? They just cared about the fact that they were in a van and they were travelling around Europe. That was it. Whilst everybody else were in lockdown and having to worry about friends and family being in hospital and people sadly passing away, and yet these idiots, they're trying to recreate that time in your lives. And when he said before about, are you feeling all the feels from 2020? Chris, your IFAM were in absolute tatters. Absolute tatters. Some people, they even commented in your comments, I remember at the time, that their family members were passing away. It's just a really awkward and odd thing to say to them. Are you feeling the feels from 2020? No, Chris. No, they don't. They're not. And I pray that they don't. Sorry.
Anyway, like I said, we're all just about to get everything ready and sorted for bed. Mila Rosabelle, she's full of beans tonight. And we'll see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. We've got something really wicked going on tomorrow. In fact, I think everyone's probably most excited about what's going to happen tomorrow. In a little throwback to 2020 in a minute. We'll see you tomorrow. I'll show you why. Good night, guys.
Okay, right, brilliant. I'm certainly looking forward to what's going to happen. It must be epic, right? Everybody is most looking forward to what's going to happen tomorrow. I, for one, cannot wait to find out what that is. So, without further ado, we don't need to wait until tomorrow. I have the copy right here, right now. So let's get on with that as well. Doesn't he look kissable? Sarah, you are one lucky lady. Oh, that's one for all you ladies out there as well, by the way. Just look at those lips, puckered, nice and juicy, just for you.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to day 3 here in the beautiful Torres Campo. Today's a really lovely day. We've been having a good old chill since breakfast. We were just waiting for one of the leather scooters to finish charging because it was too low to do the trip that we're doing today. We're doing a little trip up memory lane today to fulfilling one of our bucket list thingy-my-bobby doodads again today. And we are taking a scooter ride to the spa in Praia de Luz. And now that's important for a very, very good reason, for the fact that back in 2020, spa is a shop, you know, a convenience store. Spa, S-P-A-R, spa. Not a spa where we're going to get our backs massaged.
Oh, Christopher, you cheeky. You want to get your back massage? Who by? Sarah? Or is it the healing hands of Dougal? Either way, I can't wait for this.
I wish it was that. That'd be so nice.
Oh, Chris, I'll get my oils right now. We'll get started right away.
So we're going to the spa because, as a tradition of 2020, we used to go down to the spa because they do a very nice paprika. This is going to sound so random. Paprika, potatoes, and garlic taters. So you get a big tub, a big metal foil tin of garlic taters and one of paprika taters.
Well, it's weighed. So.
Yeah. Potatoes. Getting your spots. Seriously, Chris? Is it serious? Are you being serious? You said yesterday that you were doing something epic and amazing and something that you'd been most looking forward to in this whole trip, and that was to get potatoes. Well, Sarah's cooking mustn't be up to much good then, if that was what you've been waiting for and why you've travelled all this distance to get potatoes. Brilliant.
And yeah, they're just mega. Like they were the highlight of our beach days back in 2020. So we're going to do that today. We
spoke about those potatoes probably like monthly since 2020, haven't we?
At home or privately?
We speak about them together all the time.
Yeah. When we were like, should we go to Spain and Portugal? Everyone's like, the first thing they said was like, oh, can we get them potatoes from the spa? So we're going to the spa to get potatoes. They are very hot and very well packaged. We're going to put them in our little cooler bag on the back of one of the bikes, and we're going to ride back up out of Praia de Luz and round the corner to, I can't remember what the town's called now. My phone's outside as well. It begins with a B. It's a very beautiful little cove. So I remember anyway, and I've looked at a few pictures on Google this morning. It looks really nice. So we're going to head around there, and it's quite windy today again.
It's not windy. It's because we're high up and we've got open fields.
So let me explain. So if you leave, we're at the very back of Torres Campo right now, where like the bigger pitches are around the back. And at the back of Torres Campo, you are on a bit of a hill. So the view out, I'll show you in a minute, the view out's over a hill and it's really nice. But when you go up towards the pool area, the wind stops. It's weird. Yeah. But because of the direction of the wind as well, it means basically on the coast at Praia de Luz and the beach down that we're going to stay, there's going to be no waves. It should be perfect still sea today because of the direction of the wind. Hopefully, fingers crossed. That's what we're looking for anyway. So really excited. We're going to get on the bikes, do our favourite thing with the scooters and the bikes, and get gone and go do some exploring. As you can probably hear, that wind is pretty strong when you come outside at some points. It's not always like that. It's kind of gusty every so often, but if you can see, we're like on the top of a hill. It's a really nice view out the back, gorgeous view out the back. I think this is like a private road out the back here that they're developing at the minute. So nobody comes up here or anything. I know there's like the barbed wire fence and all, but the view is really, really pretty. Esme and Isla, are you guys ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, man. Awning's gone in because of the wind, and the awning bits and bobs are just down here, making sure the sunbeds don't take off as well.
Chris, are you taking us on a tour of the true crime hotspots of Praia de Luz again? Are you?
Just tough, you just have to put up with that right now. What's up, guys? Coming at you this morning from the very beautiful town of Praia de Luz. And I did want to just quickly mention this because I know that when I say that name, probably a lot of people in the comments are going to mention it too. But this town, most of you guys will know, is very well known or famous for something, and something that is definitely not good, something very, very not good indeed. But I didn't even realise that this was the Praia de Luz, or we were in Praia de Luz, until last night when we came down to go for dinner for Isabel's birthday, and we happened to go past the hotel where it happened, and I just happened to notice it because I've watched everything going on what happened here. I watched every documentary going on what happened here, and you have to go past the hotel to get to the beach, so I've just noticed it out of the corner of my eye. We even went past where the actual room where it happened.
In fact, he didn't, but I would have to say I'd be very surprised if he didn't end up at the Madeleine McCann apartment again. He probably won't film it, but I can promise you that more than likely he did go. I reckon he did anyway, even if it wasn't filmed.
Look at the size of that. What, darling? Is it melon? Why are these so expensive? Like, seriously? So expensive, dragon fruit. Right, come on, this way. We need to go and see.
Where do you find a really big melon?
It is absolutely massive. I'm going to be gutted if they don't have those potatoes in stock, aren't we? Come on, let's go see.
Wow. I wish they had mini toys.
Yeah, me too. Come on, you two. Guys, they don't have any. They don't have any.
Oh, you are having a laugh, Sarah. What the hell? You've taken us all the way down to Portugal, on the biggest island of Portugal that you could ever did find, and they don't even have the potatoes. Good job then that we have a supply of potatoes right here.
And we got 2 ginormous baguettes, and then we got some seasoned potatoes.
Which taste amazing.
Esme's tucking in some and Isla already. And we got some garlic butter and herb new potatoes. They're
So good.
So delicious. And then
I guess on this occasion, you're just going to have to live on memories alone, isn't it?
This beach is so much nicer than I remember it being. It's so beautiful. The water's perfect. It's like, yes. Although it's freezing. I don't want to sound like I'm complaining about the sea here in Portugal, but I do not remember the sea being cold here. I remember it being really warm. I was in it all the time, but I'm telling you now, I just went for a swim. Did you film it? Because it has to be proof.
I did, but it was zoomed in, so it was quite blurry.
See, but you saw me in the water, right? So I've just been for a swim, right? And it was nice, but it was very cold. Like, take your breath away cold. You can't stay in it for very, very long.
Well, I don't know about that, Chris, but one thing I do know is that this panic attack would probably have made you think twice about wanting to come into the area.
Oh my goodness, I just made it back, but I kid you not, I think I just nearly drowned, and that's not like an exaggeration. I don't know what happened to me just then. I've just made it back to shore to Sarah, literally. The second after I put the camera down, I started thinking about the last thing I said, where I was like, oh, this is the point where I swim and I don't move forward and I just get dragged back. Because it's freezing, it's like going in an ice bath. I don't remember it being like that. I'm wondering if anyone knows who's watching this video if the water warms up more towards autumn, because obviously we were here for the beginning of September until the middle of November or whatever it was.
Oh, Chris, my God. You wonder if the water warms up more towards the autumn, more towards the winter time. Yeah, Chris, as that is how physics work. I would have thought that you would have known that, you being a physics major and everything. Bloody hell. Yeah. As it gets colder, it gets warmer in the sea. Jesus.
Or the start of November. So maybe we experienced it. When was it? It was October. Sorry, it was the very end of August. So we arrived in Portugal on like the 30th of August, and we were here until November. So we were here. It was the last week in October. Yeah. I can't remember. Okay, whatever. But does the water warm up as the season goes on? And we're just hitting the part where it's not quite warmed up enough yet. I don't know. Or is it just generally cold? And maybe I'm used to the sea in Spain or wherever else.
Oh, diddums. It's Chris. It's Chris. So used to the warmth of the Spain Sea, and he's not quite warmed to the Portuguese one just yet. Never mind, Chris. Just head off to France. Maybe you'll find the warmth that you desire there.
So basically, I've got Isla on a duty of to give me a hole for my belly so that I can lay on my stomach. Thanks, Isla.
Yeah, please don't be putting your baby in a hole. I'm sorry. It just feels wrong, okay? I know there's nothing inherently unsafe about it, but it just feels wrong to be putting your baby in a hole, and it also feels like something that they would do, so...
Yeah, but it does look really cool over here, where you've still got the sun on this cliff. I remember this so clearly from last time we were here. It's such a beautiful beach here. It's unbelievable. It's the beach just down from Praia de Luz. I'll pop it on the screen, the name of it. It's Berges, I think, something like that. It's really bad that I don't know, but my phone's totally dead, so I can't double check. But it'll be on the screen.
Chris, please don't go before you go to your very own dedicated restaurant. We had this conversation 3 years ago and you didn't go then. The Endless Summer restaurant and pizzeria is there. It's yours. It's all yours. Endless Summer, right?
Won't you take me for a ride? I will love the feeling of the wind in my hair while it's beating. On the highway down by the sea, we go on and on. Listen to us tears go by in the very first sunlight, and we know it has just started. On and on.
That's enough of that nonsense. Nice trip down memory lane. That is in actual fact Endless Summer restaurant, which is just up from the beach where they were, and yet again they failed to go there. I did tell them, I tried to tell them, go to your very own restaurant. You'll love it. You'd actually think that they would do, because they're that type of family, you know.
Bikes are all back loaded up.
State of yours.
Proper camel style, busting it. And yeah, we're about to see if we can make it up this monster of a hill on the way back. I don't think your scooters are going to do it. No, you might have to push them.
beautiful.
Eyelashes, I meant my eyelashes.
My eyebrows are beautiful.
No, I meant my eyelashes.
Oh, so do you want your eyebrows dyed or your eyelashes brown? I'm getting confused.
Right,
Browing.
I want my eyelashes dyed.
Your lashes?
Yeah.
Ah.
Soy sauce.
Yeah, that's soy sauce. We're in ramen, aka noodles, for dinner tonight. They are veggie ones, and we are adding extra veggies, so it's.
And the egg.
Why am I even justifying it anyway?
You're justifying it, Sarah, because you know it's the right thing to do, and you've taken a lifetime's worth of finances out of your IFAM, and you know it's just right to be honest and open and just honest with them. That's the right thing to do. So yeah, I don't see any problem with that. Keep it real, Sarah. Keep it real. Keep it honest.
We just got back from the beach. We all went over to the shower block. And everybody managed to get properly I did get properly showered, but I didn't manage to wash my hair because the shampoo ran out.
Seems a third world problem to me, Sarah. Use some soap. Get it in there in all the crevices and everything. Just gives me tingles just thinking about it.
It's lovely when that happens.
Do you know how much baked beans we've got?
Yeah, I brought loads of baked beans because I said you can't get proper baked beans in Europe, and we always miss cheesy beans on toast. And then we haven't had a single cheesy beans on toast. What?
There's at least 12 cans.
There's not 12 cans.
There's a lot of
There's like 5.
No, there isn't 5. There's millions of them.
Millions. Anyway, I'm not sure what the lighting's doing in here, but we just got back.
Sorry, so else is outside. The lighting's good in here. What are you talking about?
It looks okay when I do this, but when I'm like this, it looks really, I don't know, it's really shadowy.
It's just because you put in the. Hang on a minute, is that any better?
No, that's really annoying.
Turn the shower lights on.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. We just got back. We had a really, really nice day. I'm not gonna lie. Do you know, it's really random that I'm saying this, but today I have been completely exhausted. It's like every single ounce of energy been sucked straight out of me, which is so random because I did a Q&A yesterday.
Didn't you do it today? I'm confused. I'm sure at the beginning of this vlog she said I've just ended the last vlog or and she's just starting a new one. Anyway, maybe I've got it mixed up. I cannot be bothered going back to rewatch it to see if my eyes are deceiving me, or my ears even. So if anybody else remembers, just let me know, because then we'll all know.
And said that I'm feeling absolutely fantastic, full of energy and full of life. And despite being almost 30 weeks, I don't feel pregnant at all. And today it's just hit me like a blooming ton of bricks. Not that there's been anything wrong or anything at all. I've just literally felt tired. Honestly, we always go outside in the morning and have like our breakfast outside, everybody. And I literally fell asleep like an hour after waking up this morning. I fell back, didn't I, in my recliner? Yeah. I almost fell back asleep at like 2 just before we set off going back to the beach. I was like, we need to go to the beach right now, otherwise I'm going to fall asleep. And then I fell asleep on the beach. I mean, I say I fell asleep.
Okay, I'm going to admit to a faux pas, and I could actually go back and edit what I just said a minute ago, because what I just said just actually makes me sound stupid. I've just remembered why I thought what I did and why I'm wrong, and I'm deciding to interject here and correct myself and say that, yeah, because I've put like 3 vlogs together in one video, it's confused me. And yeah, she said it at yesterday's vlog, and oh Jesus Christ, I'm just forget everything I've said in the past 5 minutes. Not everything.
I didn't really, because everyone was being loud, and it's obviously a beach. It was quite windy, so sand kept blowing in my face. But it was very cute because Mila fell asleep behind me, and then I was just like dozing in and out, and I was like, I never lay on the sand either. I always sit on like a chair. But I was like, I can't. I genuinely feel like I can't sit up. I mean, that's probably a bit dramatic, but I felt so tired. I was like, I might just lay on a towel, and I was just like, oh yeah. And then we've got back, and I'm like, I don't know if I want dinner, babe. I really want to just go to bed. He was like, you're growing a baby. You need to eat these noodles.
You have to eat your ramen. Alright, don't take the plane now.
It's a bit of mess. I really just want to go climb in the bed. It's a bed of mess.
That's perfect.
Trying to look up. What's that over there? It's not too bad.
I've just found on the fridge that we've forgotten about the most beautiful ham that we bought the other day. So tomorrow lunchtime I'll go and get the spuds, the garlic spuds, the paprika spuds, and we'll get baguettes and we'll make fat ham.
Oh, nice big
juicy
lunch.
ham, cream cheese, and then loads of spuds.
I actually thought he was just going to say, well,
Oh yes, oh indeed. The ham baguettes and potatoes to go with the carbs and 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 the carbs. Healthy, always and forever. Ingham's never change.
put ham in the ram, and I was like, no.
No, we'll put loads of ham in baguettes
Yeah.
with cream cheese and then all the spuds.
Yeah,
And hot
we don't
sauce.
often eat lunch, do we? Us, me and Chris, we and the older girls. No, we never attend to it. I mean, we do sometimes.
Are you joking, Sarah Ingham? Are you actually joking? Right, okay, here's a life lesson for you, Sarah. Remember when you were at home a few months ago? I know, home, right? It's a hard thing to remember, but yeah, you were at home, and you were clearing out that cupboard, and it was rammed full of like snacks and stuff like that. Yeah, your kids are allowed like snacks whenever they want, right? Literally go into it, grab a snack, and off they go, right? And that goes as young as Mila. It's just ridiculous. That is why your kids don't eat lunch. Do you see? Do you get it? Do you actually? I don't think she gets it, you know. I don't think she does. Oh my god, we never eat lunch. No, we never eat lunch. We're just never hungry enough to eat lunch. I can't for the life of me work out why. Jesus.
But it's rare that we actually sit down together and eat a lunch. We'll do breakfast, and obviously the younger two will have a small lunch because they don't tend to have massive appetites at lunchtime, but they might eat like a little bit of pasta or a sandwich, or I'm trying to think what else, or like I'll do them like a snack plate where there'll be like little bits of cheese and tomatoes and some cucumber and some biscuits, something like that. So they'll eat lunch, but as a family, generally we don't tend to make like a big lunch. We just have a big dinner, breakfast and a big dinner. But
I'm never hungry for lunch ever.
no one is. That's the point. We stopped doing it because no one is.
Make a fat baguette lunch.
But what my point was is sometimes it's just nice to have a nice big juicy lunch, and that sounds amazing. The hammy is really nice that we found. Anyway, today the potato fiasco, not really fiasco, but the spuds. I went in to get them, as you said. We do still do the paprika ones, but we stopped doing them at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was like 2:30 by that point, 2, 3, something like that.
Yep, Sarah, finally getting up late has finally caught up with you, isn't it? Nobody just waits for you just because you, the Inghams, don't get up until 10 or 11 o'clock because, you know, your body clock says if I go to bed at midnight, then, you know. No, people don't wait for the Inghams all the time. They, you know, you missed your opportunity. What can I say?
So no potatoes for us today. Chris said he's going to go tomorrow on the bikes and get some though.
I will.
And then I think we're not 100% sure, but I think we might be checking out the next day. We did manage to get the pitch for a few extra days, but I'm not sure we're going to. We've basically got a date that we're leaving, and we don't know if we want to spend all of our time here as opposed to doing some other things on the route home. So...
Hang on, Sarah, before you do leave, you've forgotten one other thing that you needed to reminisce about and recreate. I can't believe you haven't even mentioned this.
Do you guys want to say who's coming out today?
Yes.
Yeah?
Do it all together.
So,
Well, are we going to say the older person or the younger person first?
The older person.
Okay, the older person's first, okay?
yeah.
And then we say the younger one. Okay, you ready, guys?
Together. Yeah.
You're going to say it together? Okay. So coming out here to spend a week with us is...
Nana Jean.
Oh, girls! Oh my.
And
Girls, I had to say Nana and Leah. You were like, Nana Jean.
Leah.
Yay! We got Nana Jean and cousin Leah coming out to spend a week with us.
I still can't believe that Leah was like an afterthought, wasn't she? Nobody wanted to say that Leah was coming out. Nana Jean, yeah, they were really, really excited about that, but Leah was like, well, she was kind of like just tagging along, if you will. Anyway, yeah, so Nana Jean and Leah, what's happened in the last few years over that? You know, are they all still in touch with each other? I don't know. Even Nana Jean is like, you know, off the charts at the moment. Nobody knows where she is.
We
need to look it up and do some research and decide.
So basically, we've got this place, this pitch for a little while longer if we want it, but we're not sure if we do want it. If we do stay and we want it till the end, it means that we kind of have to do a dash home.
Yeah.
But otherwise, we might check out a bit early and do some cool things on the way home. We're not sure yet. We're going to look it up and do some research.
Yeah.
Basically.
I feel like today's vlog's been really... it's not going to end up being short because I've just waffled on for 5 minutes.
Don't worry, Sarah, I have extenuated your vlog. It was pretty short, but I've made it extended, and to a certain degree, I feel like I've improved it a little bit, okay? Don't take offence, but just a smidge improvement.
Probably waffled on all day, but I feel like we've not really vlogged too much today, so if it is lacking content other than waffle, then I apologise, but the reason is that it's been quite windy today, and it does make it difficult. I know I've said that before, it does make it quite difficult to vlog when it's windy out, because we're outside all day when we're on holiday most of the time. But yeah, so we are outside all day, and so sometimes we have to come back inside to be able to chat vlog, blah, blah. Anyway, whatever, we're going to end the vlog here. Hope you all enjoyed it. Make sure you come back tomorrow for our maybe last day here.
And there you have it, iFam. Sarah Ingham admitting that her own vlogs are shit. You know, that's basically what you want to know, and leaves you wondering why the hell you keep going back day after day after day. Why not pop on over here where you can be promised quite a nice welcome, even if I do say so myself, you know, and we can, you know, give you some cake and tea and biscuits and things like that. But I feel like I've added something to this vlog. I feel like that, okay? Not to toot my own horn on this occasion, but anyway, I'm waffling on like Sarah now, so we're going to end it here as well, because there's nothing else actually happened. And don't forget to give me a massive thumbs up and subscribe if you're new. Comment all your thoughts down below. And in fact, if you have reached the end of this, because I know this has been an absolutely epic vlog. Absolutely epic. Mine, not theirs, obviously. And I do appreciate the fact that you've got this far. And if you have got this far, the keyword of the day is epic. Comment that down below, and then I'll know that you've reached the end, and I will appreciate you forevermore. Thank you all so much, and until next time, take care of yourselves, and bye bye.